Test, test, test. 1, 2, test, 1, 2. Test, 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 test. Here in Pittsburgh, test, 1, 2, test, 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 test. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosiers Lax TV. I'm Nick Abel, and I'll be with you all day long for this showing of Indiana versus Pitt. It is a chilly Sunday afternoon here in Pittsburgh. Even though we're in the Pitt Sports Dome, I'm not that warm, if I'm going to be completely honest. But we've got a great matchup for you today. It will be the 3-3 home-sided Pitt Panthers against the 4-0 Indiana Hoosiers. And Indiana last played yesterday against Buffalo, where they came out narrowly victorious in a 14-12 nail-biter. Whereas Pitt, who also played Buffalo on Friday evening, dominated the Bulls 12-5. Today, it's all about who starts hot for these two teams. Indiana came out early with a 2-0 lead, and Pitt started off a little slow against Buffalo. It was 4-3 after the end of their first quarter. And we'll see who's going to warm up on this chilly Saturday. The teams line up at the center circle and prepare for this matchup. Pitt, even though it's had 3 losses, has been a very competitive team this year, and all of these 3 losses have came against excellent lacrosse teams. They lost to the number 12 ranked Georgia team, and only by 1 to the 22nd ranked JMU side. All right, here we go. The opening draw is underway here in Pittsburgh. And Indiana won the draw, but a violation on the Hoosiers, so the Panthers will take the first stab at offense. The Indiana defense gave up the most goals they've allowed all year in that game against Buffalo yesterday. And I heard it was the sliding that was just not good enough, not clear enough communication was the word around the team. So we'll see if they can improve that here today. The Panthers are going to want to keep up this offensive pressure. They've had the ball for just about 15 seconds, now starting to threaten. Cole, one of their leading assist men, with the ball right now, dodging around his defender. Alex Strain moves it to goal line extended, but the pass is not good enough to find his target. Reed Siebold couldn't handle it. Now the Hoosiers will look to clear. Patrick Kenny launches a long pass to get it into the offensive side of the field for the Hoosiers. That's Steve Krumzik who caught the ball. He will wait for the right personnel and look to attack. And now the ball is in the stick of Carson Fry, who had a absolutely incredible performance yesterday, tallying not 3, not 5, not 7, but 8 goals on the day, being the main source of the Hoosiers' offense. Ground ball comes out to Fry as the Hoosiers look to reset. The sophomore attacker moves it over to the freshman, Hahn, who catches iron, and it bounces out. The Pitt Panthers dodged a bullet there. What looked like was going to be the first full goal of the day just hits iron and allows the Panthers to try and clear. Senior goalie Finnegan Harris calls on his attackers to move down the field. He does clear it out. Pitt waiting for the right personnel before they begin on offense. Archer Eubanks holding on to it for the Panthers. Moving it to Ahern. Dodges down the right alley. Is forced backwards as he gets doubled. And the Panthers moving the ball around. The goal line extended now. Spinning back, but losing it is Reed Siebold. The Panthers' leading goal scorer on the year turned it over that time. So Hoosiers able to clear. And now Logan Gels, one of the young freshmen on this IU team. A notable storyline early today is that the Hoosiers will be without Colin Callahan as he suffered a left leg injury late in that game yesterday. Had the most assists early on in the year for the Hoosiers as Krumsick's knocked down and just keeps fighting, but eventually gives it up. Excellent defense there from Pitt. And they're going to move quickly. The long stick passes it over. Two quick ones down right by the crease. Another shot off the crossbar. This was Siebold. He's not used to missing them. He's already got 15 goals on the season through 6 games for the Panthers. They are able to pick up the rebound, and a long pass out to Siebold is too much for him to handle as it bounced before it got to him. IU will clear. Gavin Miller with a nice dodge there to make the clear a lot easier for Indiana. And Logan Legret, the sophomore midfielder, with the ball now. They're going to have to change their offense without Callahan a little bit. I know Coach Balick was wanting to talk with his attackers before the game as Fry dives down, loses his stick, and the ball in the process. This has been a high-energy game so far, but no goals through 5 minutes of play. Both teams have come out and run hard, but the defenses have stood strong, along with a couple of nice defenses, not by the goalies, but by the iron. But Pitt will look to attack. Darren Middleton moving it now, behind the goal line. Up to Ahern. Back down behind the goal line. Up top, Ahern again. Just a little flick pass over to his teammate. Middleton looks to dive. Dodges around 2 defenders, gets a shot on, and Patrick Kenny makes a save. And IU coming down now. Carson Frey quickly has a man in the middle, right by the crease. It's Grant Hawkins who couldn't make the grab. Pitt moving the other way, sprinting down the field. Quick transition for the Panthers. Now, finally, a moment to breathe. There has been not a lot of breathing through this first 7.5 minutes, but still, we remain scoreless. And shot on, save made by Kenny again. He's looked solid in this opening frame. R.C. Baldwin, the big defender, looking to clear. He was stopped in his tracks, and then Kenny launches a high ball looking for Gilbert. Couldn't quite hold on to it, but it deflected out on a Pitt midfielder. Noah Snyder was the last one to touch it. We're going to get a stoppage from the referee on the far sideline and a discussion. So IU now will start their offense, and it's Hawkins with the ball. Moving it down to Gels. Behind the goal line. Hawkins again now. Dangerous pass is intercepted. Great read by the Panthers to take it away as Hawkins was looking for Fleming. And the Panthers clear easily. Neither ride has been very successful in this opening quarter of play. Connor Davis hands it off to Alex Strain. Pittsburgh waits its changing of personnel. Working for Max. Up to the top now. Getting ready to attack. Dodging, split dive, shot with 2 men on him. That allows Kenny to not have to make any save as it goes over the top of the cage. But the Pittsburgh attacker was the closest one there, and it will start in the stick of Reed Siebold. And he takes a quick shot, and finally we open the scoring. And who else but the Panthers' leading goal scorer in Reed Siebold, his 16th of the year. So it took us almost 10 minutes of play, and finally we get a goal. And what a beautiful goal that was. So now we'll get a face-off. Dexheimer in there for the Hoosiers. Loses it, and Pitt will attack, looking to add on to their 1-goal lead after Siebold's opening goal. The Panthers looking to work for Max, using a screen. No, goes the other way. Loses the ball, but the ground ball is picked up right back by Pitt. Sean Cole looking for options, can't find any. Quick movement, opportunity to dive, and a shot on, and Kenny makes an athletic save, is then mauled in the crease. He is down, grabbing his head in a little bit of pain. A clear-cut crease violation by the Panthers. Kenny says he's okay, so we can keep on keeping on. There's Connell Barton looking to transition across the midline. He does, but now wants some help. He gets it from Steve Krumzik. And the Hoosiers looking to answer that Siebold goal just a couple of minutes ago. That is the lone tally in this Sunday affair. Fry going at the goal. Save is made. Just got a piece of it, but the Hoosiers pick it right back up. And Hawkins looking to shoot once more. Mauled by a couple of defenders. Holds onto it somehow and sneaks in and scores. Wow, I don't know how he got through all those Pitt Panthers. Somehow did it, and also drew a penalty flag in the process. So the senior leader ties it up for the Hoosiers. "1-1 is our score with 4:38 left in the first quarter. This game has all the makings of a good one, as these teams are playing each other tight. A fight on the ground ball, picked up by Dexheimer. He is shoved down to the ground. Kenny has to scramble back into his net as Pitt regains possession. The Hoosier fans were looking for a push in the back. No call made, and so Pitt will take over. Eubanks waiting for more middies to come on. Now Darren Middleton prancing around. Middleton now sprints from the left side to the right. Passing it back the other way. Shot on. Save made by Kenny. Eubanks' shot probably would have missed the net anyway, but then Kenny saves it and launches it across the field to Gilbert, who spins away from pressure and allows the Hoosiers to move into their attacking zone. Gels gives it to Fry. Krumzik, who starts a lot of the Hoosiers offense, will start it this time. Looking to attack his defender, spins to the left. Swimmer move. Can't get around the long pole, and now he passes it off. And a chance, shot on, hits the post. Finnegan Harris was outside of the crease and dodged a bullet there, but then Fry comes across the right side of the field and rips his first goal of the game. So the Hoosiers take the lead for the first time today. And Fry, who has managed to heat up on this cold weekend in Pittsburgh, stays hot with his goal here in the first quarter. 2-1 now with 2:45 left to go in the opening quarter in the Pitt Sports Dome. Another face-off won by the Panthers. Dexheimer struggled a little bit from the spot today. That was Nick Price who was able to corral it, but then a ground ball comes flying out to the center of the field. It's just thrown in the direction of IU, which then allows Barton to pick it up and gives the ball right back to who else but Carson Fry. Dangerous pass to Krumzik, the defensive midfielder for the Panthers. Ready to pounce. Now the Hoosiers moving it. Fake shot there. Fry looking for another. Instead opts to pass it below the goal line. Gels moving it to Hawkins. Oh, a pass too far for anybody. Hawkins upset with himself. That one goes out of bounds. Pitt will pick up the ball and look to clear. A lackadaisical ride there from the Hoosiers allows Pitt to move it quickly, and a shot fired across. Goes way wide and hits the back wall of the dome. Sean Cole moving it now to Mason Peace. Peace setting up the offense. Works it all the way behind Kenny's cage. He's going to look to attack. Spins. Trying to find a cutter in the middle. Finds one. Pass is caught but then dropped. And IU picks it right back up. That's Zach Stouffer, who was there to nag the ground ball. A long pass over to freshman George Hahn. Loses it momentarily but then regains. And then passes it to point man Steve Krumzik, who dodges down, gets by his defender. Stick in his midsection, forces him to back up. Switching to the right side of the field. Krumzik catches the ball in the middle. Passes it out. They had him an extra attacker as Pitt took a little bit too long to change, but couldn't take advantage. Fry bouncing around, finds him right in the goal crease. Hawkins couldn't catch it. He was alone, but then picks it back up, gets a shot on. That goes wide. IU was closer. And that is the end of the quarter. The Hoosier sideline was yelling at the attackers to try and figure out that the time was dwindling, but they didn't realize it, neither did I. And that will do it for one quarter of action here in the Pitt Sports Dome. We'll take a quick break along with the two teams. At the end of one, IU leads by 1. I'm Nick Abel for Hoosiers Lax TV. We'll be back in just a minute. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh. The Hoosiers lead the Panthers by a score of 2-1 after one quarter of play here in the Pitt Sports Dome. The opening draw of this second quarter is upcoming. Hoosiers win it backwards and then move forwards. Gilbert handling it now for IU. IU has, after going down 1 about midway through the first quarter, tacked on 2 back-to-back goals to take their first lead of the afternoon. Let's see if they can add on another one. Hawkins was chased down and is able to get the ball to Krumzik, who looks for a screen, uses it, gives it to Fleming, who set the pick, and then sets another one for Frey. He's getting attacked by Hadley. Can't get around him, spins, quickly passes it to Krumzik, who draws too many defenders and too many sticks that take it away from him. And then a quick clear from Pitt. Reed, the lone goal scorer for the Panthers, passes it up. Middleton with it now. Eubanks dodging down. Looking for an open man. Finds one. In Seabolt. The Panthers prefer to work from X, and here they go now. A screen set behind the net. Seabolt looking for another, can't find one. And then Kenny comes all the way out of his cage. He loves to race around, and this time it works as Barton's able to pick up the ball and looks to attack. The long pole loses it. but somehow picks it right back up, and IU can attack. Hawkins getting pressure, just cradling it to keep it away from the long pole. Emerson Kang. And now Fry holding on to it dearly. Krumzik up top, awaiting a screen. Can't quite get to it, and opts to fire it to Hawkins, who uses Krumzik as a screen. He picks it right back up, shoots, and I think Harris got a piece of that one before it went out, potentially stopping another goal for the Hoosiers, but they get it right back. And Fry launches one off 1 foot, too high, with a stick in the way as well. Hoosiers able to pick it back up. 15 seconds on the shot clock now. The Hoosiers have to move quickly. Fleming fires it right into the netting of Finnegan Harris, who then launches it forward, but it's just batted away by Gavin Miller, and now Krumzik and the Hoosiers have an opportunity to break free. Violation on the Hoosiers gives the ball right back to Pitt, so they can't take advantage of the opportunity early in this second quarter. 11:30 now left in the first half. Some sustained pressure from IU results in nothing as Pitt takes it right back. Behind the net now are the Panthers. A low bounce shot taken by Patrick McKeever goes out of bounds. Pitt still the closest to the ball. And a quick shot by Reed Siebold finds the back of the net. His second of the day, the Panthers' second of the day. And they tie it right back up at 2. And he really loves to break free to try and score goals. That is his 17th of the season in just 7 games. A really impressive stat line for the senior, who also has 4 assists to go along with those 17 goals, making him the leading point man for the Panthers as well as the leading scorer. So a face-off. Won by Dexheimer and the Hoosiers. Stouffer getting chased down, passes it forward to Fry, who decides to wait. Two, 10:30 left in the first half. IU with possession. The Hoosiers in white, the Panthers in blue. Krumzik taking it now for IU. Looking for a screen. Instead passes it to Fry, who gives it back to Krumzik. He launches one and goes off the stick of Harris. Way out of play. A good opportunity for Krumzik. Shot just too close to the midsection of the goaltender. Nice swimmer move from Hawkins. Behind the goal, coming from X. Spinning inside, shot and scored. A beautiful move from Hawkins, scoring his second goal of the afternoon. And so after Pitt scored the opening goal of this second quarter, the Hoosiers respond quickly with a goal of their own, putting them back on top 3-2. Midway through the second quarter. A quick bounce shot off the faceoff from the Panthers. Kenny raced to try and beat the attacker to it, and they said he did. So an impressive job from the athletic goalkeeper who loves to run around. This time it works, and then he launches one to Gilbert, who's able to easily get it over the midline, allowing the Hoosier offense to get set up. Fleming comes on and catches the pass right as he gets on the field, looking to attack. His pass too far for Logan Gels, and then rolls out of bounds, so a turnover by IU. Harris, the goalie, running out of his crease to try and help the clear. Does so effectively as Pitt moves the ball over into the attacking zone. Pitt Panthers will start their offense. Eubanks passing it off. Panthers with some good off-ball movement right now. Eubanks finds it again. But a long pull was in the offensive zone, so they changed that quickly. And here comes Conaway. Pitt passing it around with precision. Eubanks dodging down, gets around one defender, takes a shot a little off balance and not a great angle, so that one goes wide right of the cage. But he recognized that Seabolt was back there to pick it up, so he will restart the Pitt offense with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Seabolt finds a man up top, shot. Hits, I think, off of the bucket of Kenny and goes out of bounds. Shot clock does reset. So Conway behind the net, quick shot. Kenny just falls on it and it deflects out once more. Gets up slowly, limping with a little bit of pain. Might have caught his right leg, it appears. But he's got to get right back into the fray as Pitt still with the ball and threatening. Middleton down to Seabolt. Quickly to McKeever. And then back to Eubanks, who fires wide. And Kenny wins yet another race to the ball, firing up his bench. And Kenny launches across field pass to Barton, who just rips it at Legret. He takes a couple sticks to the midsection, but is able to get across the field. He then moves it to George Hahn, who will begin the attack. Frey directing traffic. Frey now gets the ball. Hawkins' long pass over to Gels, who's been quiet, although he started off really hot this year. Freshman attacker settled in quite nicely. And then a quick shot from Fleming as he dodged down the right alley, goes low and away. Now Hawkins using the screen from Fleming. Shot clock ticking away, 6 seconds now. Takes a shot deflected. It doesn't even get to Harris. But a tough ride from the Hoosiers. Force a tough ground ball. Fry trying to pick it up. Now is able to. And he sprints down the field. Moving on his own to the net. Shot save made by Harris. A tough angle from Carson Fry, and Harris worked it efficiently to force the shot right into his big old webbing. Harris launches a high pass. Is able to be transitioned into offense by the Panthers. And then a pass up top on the point, and he dove and snuck it in the 5-hole of Patrick Kenny. Mason Peace was the one with the athletic play, and the goal came darting in from the defensive side of the field and ties this game up at 3 in the late stages of the first half. What a great grab by Peace before then somehow being able to get a shot away and sneaking it under Kenny. I don't think Patrick Kenny was quite ready for that shot. A clean win on the faceoff circle by Dexheimer. He's going to elect to attack. Fry couldn't use him. And then Dexheimer gets off. And then Fry just rolls it over to Krumzik on the far side of the field. No scoring contest in this first half. It's not usual for this IU team, which has scored at least 13 goals in every single one of its contests so far this year. They've been stifled by this tough Pitt defense. And also by unforced errors like that. Krumzik with an errant pass, looking for Fleming. Just a little bit of miss. But a great pick by Carson Fry allows the Hoosiers to get right back on offense. Chance in the middle for Hahn. He spins around and takes a shot. Couldn't catch the frame of the goal. And there was no Hoosiers back there to set it up as the offense was not quite out there. So Pitt will have another chance to clear, although they did throw the interception to Fry the last time. And this is a long pass over the middle that's deflected and comes all the way to Patrick Kenny, who runs out of his cage to come get it. Can't quite pick it up, and Pitt will start their offense. With just under 3:15 left to go in this first half. Little hop step. And he runs down, passes it behind the cage to Siebold, throws it quickly up top. Pass too much for Strain to deal with. And then the Hoosiers out to the races. Pass to Gels. Hahn wide open calling for it. Gels can't quite see him. Now a defender slides over. They do have numbers. And the pass is just way too far from Logan Gels. And Fry with an athletic jump over a fan after he worked as hard as he could to get the ball, hurdled the fan. But Pitt moves it quickly now, and a shot save made by Kenny, just gets enough of it to keep it out of the net. What a crazy sequence of events right there. I thought we were about to have a collision on the sideline after Gell's pass went too far for anybody to deal with. And then another pass that's too hot, and then Fry does pick it up and draws a penalty. So the Hoosiers with a chance to score here, and also a penalty flag down with under 2 minutes to go. It was Scott Claremont, the senior defender, who caught Fry in the face with the stick, drawing the penalty. And Fry's just going to take it himself, and he shoots and scores. Ran about 60 yards around everybody to go get to the goal, but does so effectively and gets his second one of the game, putting the Hoosiers back on top. They now lead 4-3, and will go a man up. And IU will call a timeout with 1:37 left in this first half, up by 1. And we'll take a quick break with them here at Hoosiers Lax TV. Thanks for joining us. Stick around for the end of this first half. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 1:37 after the Hoosiers called the timeout. They just scored their 4th goal of the game. It was Fry's 2nd to take the lead once more against the home-sided Pitt Panthers. And Dexheimer able to win the faceoff. It helped that the Panthers were down a man, and they will be down a man for a little bit of time here towards the end of the first half. Hoosiers with a chance to take either side's largest lead of the game if they could go up 2. It has been back and forth so far, much like the IU game yesterday against Buffalo. Krumzik moves it down to Gels. Hoosiers just looking for the right opportunity to shoot it. A great move from Hawkins, finds Fry. Looking to shoot just a little bit too early before he had the ball completely in his stick. But a great find on the feed. Feed in the finish. Hawkins saw Fleming sneaking up right in front of the crease. Caught it about 2 feet in front of Harris and made for an easy finish. Hoosiers take advantage of the first man-up situation of the day and taking their biggest lead of the day at 5-3 with 45 seconds left in this first half. Indiana 5, Pittsburgh 3. Pitt trying to answer after a couple goals from IU. They move quickly off the face-off. Timeout called by the Pitt sideline as they want to cut into this lead. Draw up a really good offensive play with just 35 seconds left in this first half. We'll take one more break before halftime here at Hoosiers Lax TV. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And we've had a great first half of action here, and we've got 30 seconds left to go as the Pitt Panthers look to cut into the 2-goal deficit after the Hoosiers have scored a couple straight. It's Pitt working from X. Seabolt, who's already got 2 with it now. Passing it off, a shot. Kenny gets a piece of it, big save made. Now 10 seconds remain on the game clock. IU sideline, giving it to Pitt. McSeaver with it, shoots, another save from Patrick Kenny. Just 4 ticks left on this first half clock. Seabolt moving quickly, fires it over the middle, and that will end the first half. IU leads by 2 at the end of the first half here in Pittsburgh, 5-3. An energetic end to this first half, and we'll bring you all the action from the next 30 minutes of play in just 15 minutes here at Hoosiers Lax TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be with you after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosiers Lax TV, and we've had a great first half of action as the Indiana Hoosiers lead the Pittsburgh Panthers 5-3 here at the Pitt Sports Dome on this Sunday afternoon. The opening draw of the second half is coming right up, and it is the Panthers who at first seem to corral it. They do pick up the ground ball. Try and answer after the late goals from IU in the end of the first half, but a quick shot on Patrick Kenny is saved, and then he passes it out to Gilbert, who then moves it forward to Stouffer. The LSM passes it, had Hawkins right on the doorstep, couldn't quite reel it in. What would have been a sure goal, had a one-on-one with Harris right on the crease. So Pitt avoids going down 3. And now Harris will look to clear. Davis gives it back to Harris, who launches it over the midline. And now the Panthers will get their first opportunity of offense in this second half. But then an errant pass makes it for a ground ball all the way to Logan Gels, who picks it up for the Hoosiers. And now Hawkins with Gels. Don't quite have the numbers to move quickly. So Fry will take it up top. Look to start things for the Hoosiers. And now Fleming, who had the latest goal for IU in that first half, moves it to George Hahn. Back to Hawkins, who's got a pair of his own. Looking for a third, spins, bounce shot, makes for easy work for Finnegan Harris. The angle wasn't quite what Hawkins was looking for, nailed it right into the ground. It bounced easily into Harris's stick, but then he loses it, is able to evade Hawkins, but has to quickly launch it forward, and there's a mad dash for it. We're gonna get a whistle. And now the Panthers will regain possession. So Pittsburgh has been shut down offensively by this IU defense that has been pretty strong for most of the year. They had to make some adjustments after yesterday's win, where they gave up 12 goals. But they have done their part so far. Right on cue, the Panthers and Siebold score, and they draw a penalty. A little bit of an announcer's jinx right there, as I was praising the IU defense. But the one weak spot has been Reed Siebold, and that's his third goal of the afternoon. He's done most of the work for Pitt, and he has been fantastic all year long. That is his 18th goal of the season in just 7 games. Single-handedly keeping Pittsburgh in this ball game. So now it is 5-4 IU, and an important face-off for momentum. Dexheimer kicks it forward. Picked up by the Panthers, who can move to offense once more. Great little deke down the sideline, toe tapping, find a man right on the doorstep, but Kenny makes a save all alone. Pitt and Alex Strain thought they had the game-tying goal, but Kenny made himself look big and comes up with a huge stop early in the third quarter. Pitt will slow it down as they look to attack. Sean Cole moves it behind the cage. The goal line extended. Just passing it around. Siebold with an athletic grab and then fires it over across the field, making the defense move, and then a goal. What a shot there. Who else but Reed Siebold, adding his 4th goal of the contest, tying this back up at 5. So this first 3 minutes of the third quarter have all been Pittsburgh. And Reed Seabolt. IU has got to find a way to contain the senior attacker. It's been a hard task for every Pitt opponent this year. Nick Price manning up against Dexheimer in the spot. And he wins it all by himself. Can't quite pick up the ground ball. But then it finally comes to Alex Strain. And Pitt with sustained pressure in this third quarter right now. All the momentum for the Panthers. Trying to knock off the undefeated Hoosiers, who've been receiving votes in the coaches poll for top 25 in the MCLA. Seabolt to Ahern. Questionable pass there from Ahern. Then Eubanks is pressured, but is able to come up with the ball. LSM, Zach Stouffer all over him. And now R.C. Baldwin with a great takeaway. Then finds Patrick Kenny, who sprints with all his might up to the midline. He is shoved and turns it over, and now an open net. No man allowed to stand in front of the goal except for the goalkeeper. Kenny does get back, but a man and a shot on, and it goes wide over the net. Kenny just sprinted about 50 yards in 15 seconds. He has got to be tired, but no break for the short goaltender as Pitt will look to attack. Seabolt cutting in, shooting. Low shot save made by Kenny. But then knocked out by Barton. And IU, lack of communication here quickly. Pitt with a chance to shoot it. The shot by Ahern is knocked out of bounds. Kenny tried to beat Ahern to the ball, but he could not, so Pitt will keep possession. The IU offense has not touched the ball through 5 minutes of play here in this second half. Connell Barton passes it forward. IU now with finally an opportunity to move to offense. They will slow it down. And Steve Krumzik, hearing Steve chants from that IU sideline, hoping to propel his team to a victory. He catches it once more. Looks to attack on the shorty. Gets by him. Spins around. Finds Fry. Looking for a shot or a pass. And takes one way wide left of the net. He loves that jump shot. Just gets up on 1 foot, acting like Derek Jeter, throwing it across the diamond. It works sometimes. It did not on that attempt. But IU was the closer team, so they will keep the ball. We are all even here in Pittsburgh with under 9 to go in the third quarter. And Krumzik will start from X. Shot clock winding down. 5 now on the clock. IU trying to get a shot. Fry shoots it and scores! As the buzzer sounded, Carson Fry gets his third goal and a hat trick on the day for IU. And a huge goal in this spot as the Hoosiers had just allowed 2 straight for the Panthers. But they take a hold of the lead. .65 is our scoreline. Another face-off. that Dexheimer's able to hit. Takes what looked to be a hit to the back of the helmet. No call made. Much to the IU fans' chagrin. Gavin Miller just tries to launch it away. He was getting harassed by Pitt attackers. The ball is flicked into the Pitt side of the field. Hawkins can't pick it up. And so now, here comes Drake Hadley. Did well to hold on to it. And then a pass over the middle. Can't be caught. He tried to shoot it before it was in his stick, and IU comes racing the other way. So George Hahn gonna slow it down for the Hoosiers. 8 minutes to go in the third. Hoosiers lead 6-5 in a tight battle here in Pittsburgh. Logan Gels now. Back up to Fry, who scored the last IU goal, and he scored 3 of their 6. Then to Fleming, who has one of his own. Spins, using a screen from Krumzik, has to back out, away from pressure. Gives it to Steve Krumzik, who dives in, shoots. Shot was deflected off about 3 sticks and comes way up into the air, almost hit the top of the dome, and goes out of bounds. Logan Gels back there to retrieve it. Working for Max, using a screen from Fleming. Now one-on-one. He is just beat down, but a great flick pass from his knees to Richie Fleming. But good slide from the defense to keep him away from Finnegan Harris. And now Krumzik, shot, just wide. A good opportunity for the sophomore to try and add on to the IU lead. Could not find the target. So Gels will begin for IU. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Spinning into traffic. High bouncer. What was intended to be a shot looked more like a pass. And Frey just has to shoot one and fires and scores. Wow. Picked it up, shot it, and still found the net. What an unbelievable finish from IU's most prolific scorer, Carson Fry. His 4th of the game. Tying Seabolt's game high of 4. So it's really been Reed Seabolt versus Carson Fry plus a couple others. And the Hoosiers put their lead back up to 2 with 6:40 to go in the third quarter. Face-off won by Dean Escurado and the Panthers. They've switched guys in the face-off dot to deal with Dexheimer, who is a pretty decent Fogo himself. Won 64% of his face-offs last year. Has had a good year this year so far. It's been about even on face-offs for each side. Quick shot from Pitt. Deflects off of Patrick Kenny and comes all the way back to the Pitt sideline. But it was Middleton who was closest, and he will start it up for the Panthers. Then finds Sean Cole. Sean Cole dodging down the right alley. Jump shot. It does not make it to Kenny. Now ball up in the air. A scrum for Kenny, gets out of his cage. A dangerous play from the goaltender. And Pitt picks it right back up. But then a pass can't quite catch Alex Strain, who then goes and finds it, shoots it. Save made by Patrick Kenny. He runs out of his crease to go help the clear. Questionable pass to Gavin Miller. He is then pressured, has to launch a ball that's amazingly caught by Grant Gilbert, but then has to force it forward, and he can't do anything, just puts a knee down like a second baseman. There's a clasp somewhere in that scrum, so Pitt will pick it up. A nice ride from Carson Fry, then he picks it up right in the middle of the field, just backhands one on the net and scores. Unbelievable finish. Just shoveling it towards the net. Carson Fry had 8 yesterday, has got 5 today, 13 in 2 games. He cannot be stopped right now. Increases the Hoosier lead to 3. Just under 5 to go in the third. Dexheimer up against Nick Price in the circle. Forced forward by Finn Dexheimer. He picks it up, moves it quickly. Long pass, looking for Stouffer, who had all the space in the world. The LSM pats his chest as if he should have caught it. The pass was a little high, but he had the long stick to deal with it. So Pitt will look to clear. The ride from IU caused them some pressure last time, leading to that Fry goal. They've got some time now to deal with it. And Pitt being pressured in the middle of the field just sends a ground ball over. Play subsides for a quick moment. 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Hoosiers lead 8-5. Quick shot coming around the net. Can't quite find the cage and goes out of bounds. Pitt was closer. McKeever at an awkward angle fires one on frame, and somehow it sneaks by. So Patrick McKeever gets his first goal of the afternoon, cutting into the IU lead. So now Dexheimer lines up again. Fans calling for a hold. No call given. And then IU physically beats on the Pitt Fogo and knocks the ball out of his stick. And so IU will look to clear and get back to offense. Kenny fires one over the middle in the direction of no one. So Pitt can take over. A little bit of goalie wars here as Kenny just launched it to Harris, and then Fry pressures Harris. He's wrapped up, begging for a penalty call. No one is given. Harris still not back in his net, but Pitt somehow avoids the pressure, and now we will get a call. And the call will be in IU's favor, so they will keep the ball. And they will have an opportunity to work here in this third quarter. Up by 2 after giving up a goal to McSeaver. Coming from X is Richie Fleming, looking for targets over the middle. Moves it back up to the right side to Fry. Kicks it out to Krumzik, does a swimmer move. Spins, coming back to the middle. Down the left alley. Just holding on to it, looking for options. Ooh, Hawkins almost couldn't handle that pass. Switches places with Krumzik, cuts to the middle. Right inside for Hahn, who gets shoved. And his stick falls apart in the process. Shot goes hide and wide. And he gets up in a little bit of pain. For the remaining minutes of this game, Hoosiers Lax TV will be Hoosiers Lax Radio, as the cold weather up here in Pittsburgh has diminished all 4 of my battery packs, as a bad pass from the Hoosiers that Krumsick couldn't handle rolls out of bounds. So I'm sorry for the technical difficulties here, but I'll try and get you all the best content still for the rest of these 16 and a half minutes left in this great battle here in Pitt. Pitt moves it quickly, shot on, goes wide. It was a great clear from the Panthers, and Drake Hadley, the senior D-Midi, tried to get one on frame, could not do so. So now they will work from X. It will be Alex Strain now. Wait for more Pitt attackers. Sean Cole bouncing up, dodging down the left alley, back up to the middle of the field, now down to the right side. Moving it quickly to X, where they look to reset. Reed Siebold already has 4 on the day, using a screen. Moving it back up top. Pass into the middle, shot on goal, and it's scored. He took a tough hit at the end of that one as well. A flag flies. It was, I believe, Alex Strain. No, excuse me. Noah Snyder, the senior midfielder, who did well to eat through the contact and still finish the goal, making this a 1-score game now. So what a match this has been. A penalty as well, so this could be a huge momentum shift in the game. So now it will be Pitt ball. As they are only down 1. In about 2 minutes, they scored 2 goals and have a chance to tie now in a man-up situation. The Panthers looking to capitalize. Goal line extended up to the left side, but the pass is way too high. It comes across the midline, and Carson Fry picks it up. Now running across the middle of the field with a Pitt defender on his back, holding on to it. Coming down the right alley, goes all the way looping around the net, just trying to avoid the pressure and run off some of this penalty clock. He is double teamed, now passes it off finally to Steve Krumsick, who is just getting harassed, and then finally a timeout is called. Krumsick throws his hands up in the air. I think maybe he wanted to just run the clock out. Only 20 seconds left in this third quarter of play. A costly mistake maybe by the Pitt Panthers, as they had the man up and just lofted one way too far for any of their attackers to reach, and gave an easy opportunity for IU to run off a lot of this clock. A man down. So with that timeout, we'll take a quick break here at the Pitt Sports Dome. We'll be back in just a minute for the last 15 minutes and change of this contest here in Pitt. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After that timeout with 20 seconds left in the third, IU leads Pitt by a score of 8-7. They have possession of the ball, are still a man down, and Fry will look to outlast two defenders, gets around one, and another is going to look to take a shot. He does get one away. Impressive just to escape multiple Pitt defenders. Gets a shot away, and it goes out of bounds to the left side, but IU is there to pick it up. So there is Grant Hawkins. Turns it around with a little bit left on the clock. Picked up quickly, and a shot on by George Hahn is a goal. As time expires in the third, the freshman comes up with a huge play. And his usual running mate, Colin Callahan, hopping onto the field, crutches in hand. I think Coach Balick went over and said, maybe calm down a little bit. Don't want you to get more injured than you already are. But a huge spot in this game. George Hahn comes up with the ball and then turns it right on net, sneaking it past Harris for the Hoosiers' 9th goal through 3 quarters. So with the end of the third, we'll take a quick break and get right back to you for the start of the 4th quarter in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. We've got all of the action here on Hoosiers Lax TV Radio Edition. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosiers Lax TV. For the rest of the game, it will be Hoosiers Lax Radio, as the camera battery has foregone some damage due to the cold. All of my battery packs are officially run dry. So, for the rest, it'll just be me and the game. And what a game it has been. 9-7, the Hoosiers lead the home-sided Pittsburgh Panthers. And Finn Dexheimer comes up with the opening draw of the 4th quarter. Throws it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Patrick Kenny, who runs hard. He looks like he's running away from the cops with how hard he runs. And he is able to run away from the other men in blue, the Pittsburgh Panthers defenders, and gets it across the field. But unfortunately, a turnover for the Hoosiers. And the Pitt Panthers pick it right back up, and they will look to attack. Down 2 goals. Starting it up top are the Panthers, and Mason Peace, who's got 1 goal today. Aiden Conaway picks it up, but then the play is whistled dead. So quick substitution from IU. And Pitt as well. It's now Conaway. Dodging down the left alley. Finds his man, Seabolt, who's got 4 today. Takes another shot and scores his 5th. A bounce shot. Beat Patrick Kenny. This kid is unstoppable. About 3 inches shorter than every other man on the field. He has dominated this game today and cuts the deficit to 1. So 9-8 now is our score. Both sides cheering their team on. So we'll get another face-off. Dexheimer in the circle for the Hoosiers. And it's Price on the other side. Price is able to win it Back to Kang. Kang moves it across the midline and passes it forward, and then he jarts off the field. So Pittsburgh with an offensive possession looking to tie this game up. 13:30 left to play here in Pittsburgh. The Panthers moving it quickly. Pass across the field to the middle, right in front of the crease, and a stop made by Kenny. There was no one home to stop Alex Strain, but Patrick Kenny, who slips as he's running away from him, but now backpedals. Barton is calling for it. Instead, he just heaves a 60-yard pass that looked like it was going to go to the stick of Connor Davis, but then comes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Harris. Oh, a pass hit the netting in the middle of the dome. It deflected. Hawkins is calling for a dead ball there. I'm not sure if the referee saw that. I don't really know what the official call would be anyways. And now Pitt will start it in the IU zone. So now up top, the Panthers and Archer Eubanks. He dives down, tries to pass it away. It's deflected by Gilbert, but comes right back to Eubanks, who passes it off. And now Panthers are going to set up from X. Ahern with it to the right goal line extended. He is getting annihilated by Gavin Miller, and he decides to roll it off up top to Sean Cole, who uses a screen and then goes behind the cage. Now pass into the middle, a cutter, a shot is wide right of the net. Sean Cole was closest. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. IU bench getting loud now. Cole sprinting from X. Bodies through one defender. A shot is wide away. And now 2 seconds on the clock. Pitt begging for a tip. No tip is awarded, so the shot clock will not reset. And they will just give it up. So a big IU defensive stand. With 11:30 left in this game. Long pass from Barton over to Miller. From the near side to the far side of the field. And then launched back over to Barton, who sprints up trying to beat Siebold to the sideline. He does. And then gives it to Fry, who wasn't quite ready for a hit, but takes it anyways. Then kind of stares down Patrick McKeever. Fry, the leading goal scorer in this game. Him and Siebold both have 5. Hawkins, the only other player with 2. George Hahn has 1, and he picks it up and then passes it away. And there is senior leader Grant Hawkins behind the cage. Then passes it to Richie Fleming. IU spreading out the offense right now. Here comes Krumzik. Down the left alley. Looking for options. Just passes it to Hawkins, who uses Krumzik as a screen. To Fleming up top. Backs away from his defender. Shot clock winding down. Fry looking to shoot again. Fires one low. Harris gets down and stops it on his knees. Then launches a high pass into the vicinity of Tim Dowd, but he can't quite corral the ground ball. And then knocks it out of bounds, and a flag called on Dowd as he pushed Logan Gels, who is pumped up about that. A little bit of a shove in anger from number 21, Tim Dowd. Frustrated less with Gels and more with himself that he couldn't pick up that ground ball. And then Gels just kind of right in his face, drew the shove, sold it a little bit. But it worked out well for the Hoosiers, who now go a man up a goal, 9-8, with 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. This long trip to Pittsburgh has been an entertaining one as both games have come down to the wire. First it was the 14-12 victory over Buffalo, and now they lead by 1 with 10 minutes against the Panthers. Carson Fry moves it to George Hahn, looking for a cutter. Finds Krumzik on the other side. A shot and a great save made by Harris. Krumzik, with no defenders in front of him, took the long shot, and Harris was up to the challenge. And so the Ride not able to deal with the passing of Pitt, and then a shot on. Kenny then dives out of his crease to try and interrupt the play. He does pretty well, but the Panthers are able to pick it right back up. And Siebold with it now. The leading goal scorer for the Panthers. And Dowd is released from his penalty sentence and gets right back on the field. And here comes the Panthers. Dodging down the right alley, spinning right back to the middle. Shot nowhere near the cage for Mason Peace. But Alex Strain back there. Now starting from X. Passes it into the middle. Siebold, shot on, and he scores. Reed Siebold finishes yet another goal. He has been unstoppable. 6 goals on the day for Reed Siebold. And he ties it up at 9 with just under 9 to play. Unbelievable scenes here today. Carson Fry and Reed Siebold have really excelled, totaling for 11 goals. But we'll see which team can come out victorious, as it's a clean slate now with 9 minutes remaining. A tough fight on the faceoff. The ball is kicked forward by Zach Stouffer, who picks it up and then passes it over the middle to Grant Hawkins. It's a tough grab for him to make. And the ground ball comes back to Stouffer, who just flicks it up to Krumzik. And now he's going to backpedal all the way about to the midline to let his team set up. He is getting followed all the way there by Emerson Kang. He passes it down to Richie Fleming, who then dives, makes his defender miss. Passes it up to Hawkins on the right side. Hops into a move, dodges, looking for a man in the middle. His pass is deflected away, but there was a shove on Richie Fleming as he did not quite have the ball. So Indiana will retain possession with 7:55 to go. Steve Krumzik starting it off now. Passing it to IU's leading goal scorer, Carson Fry. With 2 defenders all over him, somehow holds on to it, cutting right in, draws a penalty flag as well. Working from X, his pass is deflected, but it comes up to Krumzik. Down into the middle, a low shot by Hawkins, what a move. A catch, a turn, and he rips it on the ground. Before Harris knew what was coming, the ball was in the back of his net. So IU takes the lead, 10-9. With 7:30 left to go. And there was also a penalty flag that Carson Fry drew. So IU will be a man up on this faceoff. IU cannot win the faceoff even with the extra man. And so Pitt trying to win it forward, but the ground ball comes to IU, who just lays a ground ball. Fry swings down on it, and Pitt finally picks up the ball. And now the Panthers will take it over on offense. So a big moment for IU if they could win that faceoff, but they were unable to hold on to it. And Drake Hadley moves it down to Reed Siebold. Barton on him. Siebold running back up top. The short attacker working on the bigger defender. Barton just trying to nab at him, try and poke the ball free. Gives him a little check. Seabolt not backing down at all, as he has done the whole day long. Gets the man out of the penalty box. And now the Panthers will start over. Working from X, now back up top. Conway. Looking to dodge. Spins, back out. Fires with the right, and he scores. An excellent shot from Aiden Conway. Ties this game back up at 10. Back and forth we go. Neither team has been able to take control. And with 6 minutes left, we are even once more. And the face-off. Asicurado versus Dexheimer. Asicurado wins it forward to Kang. But then he knocks it out of bounds, and the Hoosiers will start it up. Moving backwards to go forwards. Patrick Kenny now with the ball, looking for options, asking for someone to come to him to help him out. Kenny running around, throws it to Hawkins, makes the catch on the sideline, but then loses the ball. Hawkins asking for a penalty call to be made as he thought he got hit in the head. The referee did not agree. And so Pitt will start it up. It's moved to Seabolt down on the offensive end. Then down to Strain. Circles around the back of the net. Passing it off to the far side of the field. It's Sean Cole waiting for extra attackers to come. On comes Ahern. Cole getting ready to move downhill. Cuts to the middle of the field, takes a shot, and his shot is wide left of the net. Got Kenny moving the way he wanted to, but couldn't get it on target. Pittsburgh was closer, so they will start it from X. Up comes Strain, pass over the middle, deflected away. Said it goes last out on Pittsburgh, so you will start with it. Under 5 to play. As Krumzik takes a couple of slaps to the back before he gets over the midline. IU with possession. Trying to get the right substitutions on. Krumzik's going to prance his way down behind the goal. Just walking with the ball in his stick, not even cradling. Now he begins with some motion. Working for Max. Trying to find a cutter. Finds Fleming. Winds up, fires just high. And an amazing effort from Tim Dowd to dive closer to the ball, which allows Pitt to take it over. And then a long pass up to Emerson Kang, who takes it over the midline and into the offensive side of the zone. Reed Seabolt passing it down behind the net. Then the goal line extended, shot on, and it sneaks by Kenny, short post. And Alex Strain gives Pitt their first lead since early in the third quarter with his first goal of the game. And then a timeout from Indiana. Pitt finally takes the lead. They've been scratching and clawing their way back. It's been IU takes the lead, and then Pitt ties it up. And then IU takes another lead, and Pitt ties it up. And Alex Strain is the one to put them over the edge with 3:51 to go. They lead by 11. With that timeout from Coach Balick, we will take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We've got an exciting last 4 minutes of play here in Pittsburgh. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got an incredible finish upcoming. Pitt leads by 1 over the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers here in the Pitt Sports Dome. I'm Nick Abel for Hoosiers Lax TV Radio Edition. Dexheimer for Indiana in the faceoff dot. He wins it back over Nick Price. And then a little flick to Gilbert from Stouffer allows IU to move it into offense. But Gilbert has multiple men chasing him down, slapping at his back, looking for the ball. He's able to hang on, spins out of contact, and has got a chance to put it on net. And a bounce shot goes in. Grant Gilbert weaving his way through traffic, finding a one-on-one opportunity with Harris and burying it. His first goal of the game comes in a huge moment for the Hoosiers. So once again, we are all tied up at 11 goals apiece. What was a decently low-scoring first half has turned into a barn burner here in Pittsburgh. I should say a dome burner here in the Pitt Sports Dome. Fry catches the pass after IU wins the faceoff, and they look to score another one. He had to jump up to catch that, and then just said, I'm going to wait a minute and let everybody get to where they're supposed to go. So Carson Fry tosses it over to George Hahn, the freshman. Trying to get around his defender on the right side. Can't do anything. Fry now will dodge down the right alley. Has to back up and await other options. They're going to reset. He's going to move towards the middle of the field, looking for a screen from Krumzik. Gets one. Looking to Krumzik off that screen, but the pass is intercepted, and Pitt coming the other way. There goes Hadley. Drake Hadley with it. He's running around, waiting for the O-Middies to come on, and it is Aiden Conaway who receives it. Now Pittsburgh with a chance to take the lead with just over 2 remaining. All even at 11. Reed Seabolt, he's got 6 already. Does he have another in store? He's working from X. Trying to get around Barton, does so well, puts one on frame, and he buries. Just too much for Barton to handle by himself and make that 7 on the day for Seabolt. Putting Pitt up by 1. With 1:54 left to go. So now a crucial face-off for both sides. If Pitt can win it, they can at least run about half of the clock down. If IU can win it, they can get a chance to tie. It's one back. Dexheimer rolls over Price, and Pitt is able to pick it up. But Dexheimer gets hit hard after he lost the ball, and so a violation on Pitt will give IU the ball right back. A huge moment in this game. The referee has to duck as the pass comes flying over his head to Fry. And now with 1:43, 2 shot clocks essentially. IU needs a goal in a bad way. Krumzik. Dodging down the left alley. Passes it down to goal line extended. Pass back up top to Fry. Does he have another spectacular goal in store? He already has 5. Dodging down the right alley. Spinning. 3 defenders collapse on him. He loses a stick, and Pitt comes the other way. But it's a ground ball, not quite yet won by the Panthers. Now they do win it and get it over the midline. Passed in the middle of the field, but it comes right to Patrick Kenny. So under a minute to go, and Kenny runs over the midline like a chicken with his head cut off. He gets it to Krumzik. 50 seconds now. One last opportunity for the Hoosiers to tie. 40 seconds and counting. Richie Fleming working now to the middle of the field. Swimmer move, gets around 2 defenders, passes it back out to Fry. Will we be done here, or will the Hoosiers have one last push? Fry gets around, shoots it just wide. And I think if he would have got that on target, it would have beat Harris. He did not expect that quick of a shot. 24 seconds now. Smart Hoosiers working for Max. A screen, they're pushed off. Hawkins shot, and he scores! Grant Hawkins buries one with 13 seconds left on the ticker. We're all even at 12. Wow. What a crucial goal from a crucial player, senior leader Grant Hawkins. Goes low to high and finds the upper netting on the stick side. And a timeout called by Pitt. IU feeling the energy now. What a game. It's been back and forth all day long. Hawkins with his hat trick. And it looks like a crazy occurrence aside, we will get a little bit of extra lacrosse here on this Sunday afternoon. "18 seconds left on the clock, excuse me. So 18 seconds. IU has 0 timeouts, as Harris Jaffe confirmed with the officials. So one last face-off is all that stands between these two teams in overtime, really. Will the home-sided Pittsburgh Panthers knock off the undefeated Hoosiers? Or will IU go 2-0 on this road trip and make their 6.5-hour drive back to Bloomington that much more uplifting? The ever-important face-off. Dexheimer and Price. Waiting for the call. It's one backwards by the Hoosiers. Stouffer loses the ball. A ground ball dash. It's clamped down. Forced back into the air, and it looks like we will just go to overtime. So 4 quarters was not enough to separate these two teams. So we will get extra lacrosse here in Pittsburgh. The captains will meet in the middle to discuss the rules. Hawkins, with the game-tying goal, is the captain for the Hoosiers. And Drake Hadley, senior defensive midfielder, who has been impressive this year, is the main man for the Panthers. This is everything you could ask for in a lacrosse game. High scoring, back and forth, some prolific performances, 7 goals from 7 goals from Reed Siebert and 5 from Carson Fry, along with a hat trick for Grant Hawkins in the game tying goal. Both these teams accustomed to tight games, as I mentioned a couple times already today. IU narrowly defeated Buffalo. They were down 2 men with a minute left, up 2 goals, but were able to hold off the Bulls in that one. But on the other side, the Panthers lost by a score of 10-9 to James Madison, who was ranked 22nd in the coaches poll. So both of these teams have been in high pressure situations, but neither in overtime this year. So we will switch sides one more time. No, we'll stay the same ways. And it will be Hawkins and Asacurado lining up in the face-off circle. I believe it is golden goal, so this is vital to the outcome of this game, this face-off. Both teams cheering loudly. One back to Zach Stouffer, who runs across the midline and looks to start it for IU. Tossed to Gilbert, can't quite handle it, is able to pick up the ground ball, but then is just annihilated by Pitt defenders. And another ground ball shortly on coming. 1 to Pitt. They win it back to Harris, who just tries to help clear. The ball comes back to the goalkeeper, Harris, trying to direct his defenders in a manner that is helpful. Heavy ride from the Hoosiers doesn't do enough to keep Pitt on their own side of the field. And here come the Panthers. And a pass or a shot. No, it's a pass launched high and away. What would have been a field goal on this practice facility for the Panthers football team is a turnover for the Lac squad. And a big turnover at that. So here comes IU. And Richie Fleming takes it over the midline. Then passes to Logan Gels, the freshman, down on goal line extended. Then to Steve Krumzik, back up top, ready to start the offense. Just launches one over to George Hahn on the near side of the field. Now coming down the left alley. Down to Fry. Does he have another goal to end it? Tries to pass it away. It's deflected, but it comes right back to his stick. And he looks to take a shot, instead shovels it over and passed around. Shot taken and scored! Steve Krumzik ends the game and takes home the winner for IU. The sophomore silences the Panthers. And he is mobbed over on the near sideline. What a unbelievable lacrosse game today. An amazing finish from Steve Krumzik. Ends this one here in the Pitt Sports Dome. Thank you for everybody who tuned in to Hoosiers Lax TV, and for the last quarter and overtime period, Hoosiers Radio. Thanks you for tuning in this weekend at Pittsburgh. The Hoosiers will be back in action next weekend against Miami, Ohio, as they look to remain undefeated after their huge overtime win over the Pittsburgh Panthers. I'm Nick Abel for Hoosiers Lax TV, saying good day and good night. Have a good rest of your weekend and have a great next week. Nick from Pittsburgh is out, and we'll see you next time on Hoosiers Lax TV.